Hello, my name is Andy Morse, and this is Daniel Ebert.
Hello.
We are two movie obsessives living in Vancouver, Washington,
True.
who thought it'd be a good idea to talk about the James Bond franchise.
This is Rekindling Our Bonds, a James Bond movie watch podcast, where my old friend from high school, Daniel, and I rekindle the bonds of our friendship by watching each of the James Bond movies in chronological order and discussing them at great length. Hope you enjoy.
We're talking Dr. No, man. I'm excited. How did you watch it this time? What kind of mindset did you go into it with?
So I have a really, really cool movie watching setup. Kind of a dream come true for me right now. Really big screen TV that I bought from a coworker who moved away, and a really kick-ass surround sound speaker setup that I've had for numerous years. But now that I own a house, I could finally, let it loose out of its cage and get wild with it. I think I watched it Monday or Tuesday of last week. I was stayed home from work and was just having a sit on the couch and watch movies all day kind of day, but I was also recovering from an injury. And so I finished, I think, the third Lord of the Rings movie. I finished Return of the King, and then I was ready. I had a good separation from that whole storyline and was ready for something completely different and totally fresh. So when I threw in Dr. No, I was 100% ready for 1960s espionage, spy, action, adventure, jolly good time fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't really give you much prep of like, hey, put yourself in the mindset of the 1960s or whatever. Like, we didn't really talk about context or any of that stuff. But I need to be able to get in the right headspace for it.
Yeah, for me, sometimes we kind of touched on this last time. I don't know if any of that conversation is going to see the light of day, but for me, I have two ways of looking at older movies, and that's through the lens of genuine excitement and interest, and then the other way is sort of academic, in which I'm fascinated and I enjoy it on an intellectual level and a curiosity level, but sometimes it's not an actual like true enjoyment in that I'm just taken by the story and just taken transported someplace else. But I was legitimately excited
Yeah.
for this. Especially with coming off of our conversation from a few weeks ago with how pumped you are about just James Bond in general, but also sharing it. I was riding that high.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, which I'm sure you have, right? Of like, here's an obsession that is so niche and specific that I'm like the only person in my circle that's
Yeah,
in this room, the James Bond room. Like nobody. People have like varied levels of exposure to it. I've seen a certain amount of them, whatever, but nobody's like in the fandom, is how I would put it.
sure.
And I am happy to open that door and welcome you in. I'm
Yeah,
excited for it.
you are my friend that appreciates this lore probably the most of anyone I know, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's as into it as I am.
So is he, this being his first James Bond, is he underplaying the Scottish and going for more traditional like UK British accent?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be an Englishman, but I don't know about underplaying. I don't know if he thought about it
Okay.
that much.
I
Like, did you notice his accent at all,
no,
or because
and
I
that's
didn't think
exactly
about
it.
it.
Like typically when I think of Sean Connery, I think of the very Scottish, the ending words with the sh and stuff, and it seemed it
Yeah.
seemed more gentlemanly in this.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even thought about it, but I think it's well established. Sean Connery has his own
Oh,
accent,
that's true.
right? Like it's a completely different one from anyone else. So I just go in thinking he's going to talk like Sean Connery, even if he's a Russian submarine captain. He's going to talk like Sean
Or a
Connery.
dragon.
Or a dragon. Yeah, I mean that makes more sense, right? Are they in Scotland? They're somewhere around there.
Oh yeah. Remember that part in Dr. No when James Bond peels open his shirt and tells Ursula Andress to throw the axe into his heart?
I was wondering where you were going with that. But yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, that was cool. It's
definitely
sad.
happened.
And then he became a star.
But I want to go back to, you were saying the academic and the entertainment, right?
Yes.
Were you able to get swept away?
No, not really. But
No.
actually, yeah.
Okay.
To answer that question more thoroughly, yes, I was. I'm a sucker for kind of trapped on an island with a villain kind of situation. That was really exciting in the latter half, where suddenly it was just him, Ursula Andress, and their guide, Sean Connery's guide. I can't remember what that character's name was.
I think it's Starkey. Oh no, it's Coral. Starkey's in the
Coral.
80s.
That's right. Yes.
Coral.
And just them being just the three of them with limited resources on this remote and dangerous island was very intriguing. I was super excited to see where that was going to go.
Yeah, I love that. I love the structure of this movie, where it's like pretty straightforward, sort of like political intrigue, geopolitical intrigue, into there's sort of this caricature of a person who's our main character, but it's still kind of a straightforward detective story. And then all of a sudden it's like, we're in the fantastical, we're in the supernatural.
Yeah. There's a dragon. Like, I was joking about dragons earlier, but no, honestly, there is that machine they refer to as a dragon, and it's just like this thick-ass metal-plated go-kart that shoots fire.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I hate the dragon.
I could.
I love the idea of it, but dude, that thing is so dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and that's
really,
why I
Coral,
love it.
that's what you thought was a dragon? Come on, man. You've seen cars. You live in town.
I appreciated that they're establishing the Bond ethos. Well, I don't know if I'm using that word correctly.
I know what you're trying to say. But yeah,
they're establishing this Bond character and as this just unrelenting woman's man. And anytime there's a woman character on screen that's not a main character, every time he communicates with them and then walks away, there's always several seconds of hanging on that character as she watches him walk away longingly, and you can tell that he's had such an impact with his debonair personality that she won't soon forget him.
That's so funny. Yeah, like behind the counter at the hotel for sure.
Yes,
I remember that one specifically.
And
I know the other girl
was
like spying on him, so like she's paying attention to him, but
I guess that doesn't really fully count.
But that doesn't end. I can think of specific ones in like the Craig era where that happens too. They just
that's interesting.
Have a sigh afterwards of like, wasn't that nice?
Yeah, that one was just for me.
Yep.
Are you okay with us bouncing around, or did you want to try and
stick
to
no, I've got notes I want to cover, but like we can go wherever we want to talk about.
Another thing that seemed really important for the establishment of him as a legendary iconic figure, what little I do know enough to realize that the whole Walther PPK exchange for the Beretta seemed very important.
It's super specific. Yep. It's a really weird moment. I mean, it's not weird. It's awesome. But you didn't watch the special features, which so we talked a little bit last time about why these specific editions that I was picking out for you, and it's because they have these specific special features on them. Uh,
Oh, should I have
the
watched them? Do you want me to watch these?
no, whatever you feel like doing.
Okay,
But just know that there's a great series of like making ofs on all of these.
that's cool.
Usually they'll have, I think it's a documentary about that movie, a documentary just sort of about something in the Bond universe, like the music or the cars or something like that. And then by watching all of those kind of together, you get this like full picture of their process. And I
Okay.
think one of the things I'm super interested in this franchise is the making of it. They're basically like an independent studio. They have done other stuff, but they mostly do Bond movies. They're kind of owned by United Artists for the whole time, but they're this like family just doing this one film franchise. It's pretty wild.
Damn, that is wild.
It's like this. I've heard it called an artisanal product. So it's like
And
this one group has been making it since the 1960s. That's still. It's now their kids that are doing it.
what? It's still them?
Yeah, it's the Brockleys.
What?
Yep. Yeah, there's kind of a question in the air right now of like what's going to happen because Michael G. Wilson, who is the son-in-law of Cubby Broccoli, who's like one of the two producers, he's like 80 something now, real old. But he like helped write the scripts throughout the 80s and on. He's like one of the main producers, and then Barbara Broccoli is like the daughter of Cubby Broccoli. But they're kind of like at retirement age now, and Amazon sort of has the rights to the franchise or distribution or something. Not quite clear. So it's like, are they just done? Like they aren't really saying anything.
Are they done, or is the franchise done?
There's no way the franchise is done. It's worth way too much.
Okay, and it's so
I
iconic.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no way. They did. Amazon has it. They did this show called Road to a Million. It was like a reality show, Amazing Race style. They go to different places in the world and solve questions or whatever. But like, it's like they shied away from the Bond part of it. They don't mention James Bond even once. Like they play the music, there's the cars, there's the locations, but they don't ever really like lean into it. So it felt really weird. The idea is cool, but they're doing stuff with it. It's just, I mean, the gap between frickin' Spectre and No Time to Die was like 6 years or something. So we got some time before something happens.
Okay. Is it kind of fun to have a little bit of a lull just to build up anticipation and not knowing?
Yes and no. It's more fun having the movie.
Sure.
But I got like super in after Casino Royale happened. That movie is unbelievable.
Yes.
I would say like if I have any influence on anything in my life and have a life goal, getting that movie in the National Register would be fucking awesome. I think it deserves it. I seriously believe it deserves it.
Would you say that Casino Royale is the best Bond movie?
It might be, yeah. I'd say it's one of the best movies, period.
Whoa. Would you say it's in your top 10?
Yeah, oh, easy, yeah.
Top
Probably
5?
top, like, 5, yeah, definitely.
Wow, congratulations to Daniel Craig.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to. Okay, so that's way ahead of us, right? But you said you saw No Time to Die, and you've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, I saw it, and then I showed it to my wife.
And you liked it enough to show it to her? Obviously.
Yes. Well, the two of us, we will cram for the Oscars just because our relationship as the Oscars are involved comes from me being a huge movie freak, her having her own particular taste in movies, but me wanting to involve her. She loves awards shows, award ceremonies, award shows. She just loves the spectacle of them. She loves the clothing. She loves just the variety, the glamour. And so then it just kind of happened naturally that the Oscars become more interesting when you've seen more of the movies and can formulate your own opinions and have context for a lot of these wins. and so the two of us will watch
Sure,
movies.
yeah, you're invested.
Yeah, and that No Time to Die was nominated for Best Sound, I believe, so, and perhaps editing. I can't quite remember, but it was one of those technical Oscars, and so and plus I said, hey, the Billie Eilish, the cold open into the Billie Eilish Bond song is so good, and I got her on that. Plus,
Yeah.
she likes Rami Malek, so that helped too.
Okay, there you go. What have you rated it on Letterboxd?
Let me find out. Or wait, Doctor No or No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
Okay, let me pull it up.
I feel like it's gonna be so long before we get to No Time to Die that we're fine. Like our opinions could change before then, but
I th-
I'm super curious because I really got into it. I was very happy with it.
I think I gave it a 3.
Okay.
Let me look.
Letterboxd is weird because five stars still so such a small scale for me.
5 stars is a small field. Is that what you said?
Like scale, like I feel like 10, you have a little bit more room, you know,
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
if you're doing like 1 through 10. Yeah.
But it is a scale of 10, honestly, because there are half stars.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I gave it 3. I liked it. I
Three.
liked it.
Okay, above
I liked it
average.
enough. And my scaling, I'm still coming into understanding how I rate things, and it's making more and more sense as I rate more and more things. My average is going to get blown out of the water very soon because I've been watching only movies that I've like earmarked as some of my favorite movies ever, and I'm just trying to determine what my top 4 on Letterboxd are. So I'm rewatching every movie I've ever considered like one of my favorites.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
yeah, there's
So wouldn't they all be 5 stars?
no, actually surprisingly no. Yeah, a lot of them are,
Hmm.
but I'm finding that some of them are 3 to 4 or 4 to 5. So what I do is at all times I keep a little black notebook in my pocket, whether I'm at work or even out and about, just because I'm not necessarily trusting my slowly failing memory. So anytime I want to make notes of something, I'll put it in my little black book, and I write
Hmm.
down the date, the movie title, and then either a score out of 5 stars or a range of scores out of 5 stars. And then only once my little black book is filled, like cover to cover, do I sit down and just go through and do like a massive dump into my letterbox of like 70 or 80 movies at a time. And it's kind of fun because that that star rating range, when I am punching in the scores, I've given myself enough time to either think about a movie or not think about a movie at all. And sometimes that will negatively affect the score. Like, oh, I totally forgot I saw that movie. What does that say about the film itself? Probably not much. And then I'll choose the lower of the rating scale. Or sometimes if it's a movie
Hmm.
that I've wrestled around in my mind with for I don't know, since I watched it, that could change the rating scale. Even if I have it written in my little book as 3 to 4, it could jettison it up to 4.5 or even 5 if it's something I still continue to think about.
Interesting. Yeah, you let yourself like gestate on it for a little
Yeah,
bit.
and that's been fun because
That's too.
I don't just see a movie and then immediately just bop it into Letterboxd. I really give myself time to digest them. I'm big on,
Hmm.
especially with my work, which often has a lot of tedious repetition and in physical, like tedious physical repetition, and just out in the field doing my job. I allow my brain to just wander, and if I get locked on to just thinking about a movie that I watch, and I'll just like turn it over in my head, look at it from as many angles as I can, and really enjoy it. I'll wrestle these ideas and thoughts much like Pussfeller wrestles alligators.
I have a note specifically that says, hold on, we're not there yet, but yeah, it just says Pussfeller. He wrestles alligators.
I have that same note. I have like 6 notes, and
Pussfeller.
that's one of them. Pussfeller wrestles alligators.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a character named Pussfeller.
Okay. Pussfeller. I love that little crew too. When it's Quarrel, Pussfeller, and Bond and Felix. Like that's a sweet little crew too on the island.
Yeah,
on Jamaica.
Felix Leitner, right?
Leiter.
Thank you.
Leiter.
There's a character named Leitner in the Superman cartoon that I was watching yesterday, so that's that crossover I just got.
There you go.
It's going to be interesting to see because Felix is in No Time to Die.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see his evolution, like the different actors that portray him as well.
Yeah. You said you've seen Casino Royale?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that a few times, and then I saw No Time to Die a couple of times. Remember in episode 0 of this, I mentioned having seen this at a birthday party when I was a child?
Yeah.
I don't think it was this one. I think it... No, I think it was Man with a Golden Gun.
Okay, that's interesting.
At the time...
It's a different guy in that
At
movie.
the time, I had thought it was the first Bond, but now I think it was just an early Bond, and I didn't have much context because I was like 10 or whatever. Well, if we could pivot a little bit.
Sure.
The intro, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that minimalist animation style. Love it. It's like
You're talking about the opening credits stuff.
Like modernist. Oh yeah. Love it.
I do too. They're in right away with this like graphic style. They have the gun barrel right off the bat.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like it was it not Bond that was the subject of the gun barrel?
No, I don't think it's him for a while.
Oh, that's interesting. It was just some fool.
His name is Bob Simmons. He's the stuntman.
Oh, that's awesome. I take back what I said.
Yeah. It's funny, he's like wearing a hat. Just don't really think of Bond like being in a hat. I mean, he takes it off like and goes into the office, but
and then tosses it. And
I don't know. I think
it's awesome.
Yeah, like there's some stuff that is like forever. Like these are things that are going to be in every single movie from now on. You know, to some extent. But yeah, the gun barrel, super cool. I love the dots, and I love that they brought them back for No Time to Die.
Oh, I'd have to rewatch that now.
It's the transition at the train station when he like leaves her on the train, like right as it's pulling out, and it's like his back. It goes Albert R. Broccoli presents, and then it has like the dots come in, just like Doctor No.
Awesome, awesome.
So cool. And then traditionally, there's going to be like a Bond theme song here. Did you notice an absence of that?
Yeah. It was just it was like jazz, and then it went into calypso like music with rotoscoped dancers, which was also really cool.
Yep, that was cool. I like that a lot. And then it got into what's technically the theme song for this movie, I guess. Just 3 blind mice.
Oh, that was absurd. I loved it.
It's great.
And then it transitioned into those dudes being stone cold killers.
Yeah, what a good setup.
Yeah, very much. I just thought, okay, am I watching a cartoon? Am I watching a comedy?
Yep. Yeah, it looks like a 60s comedy. 3 dudes walking down the street, blind beggars.
Yes, following each other.
3 blind mice. Yeah. Love it. And then the little like card game, and then he gets ambushed in the parking lot, and you realize that they're killers. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like we're in it. This is something.
Definitely. And then it goes like procedural for a little bit, where they're tracking down where the woman in the guy's house who was contacting MI6, but it went dead because they killed her. and then they kind of like traced it back where
and the line stayed open.
yeah, the line's still open. It wasn't a technology issue. It's a somebody straight up shot this lady issue. Yeah, it's very followable. The logic is really fun to follow.
But yeah, I love this plot is like pretty straightforward. Like you understand what's happening the whole time pretty much. But I think the only thing they don't really get into is like missile toppling. But they like
Yes.
it's like a pretty big plot point, but you kind of get that he's doing bad stuff.
Yes. Yeah. They kind of explain like when is it, gosh, it's not Q. Is it Q?
Q's not technically in the movie. It's a guy who's like their quartermaster, basically, or weapons guy. Is that what you're talking about?
No, who's Bond's direct report? Who's his supervisor?
Yeah, Bond's supervisor or Bond's boss is M.
M, thank you. So M asks James Bond, I believe it's M that asks James Bond about his knowledge of toppling, and then
what do you know about toppling missiles? 007.
And then he explains it kind of briefly.
Yeah, I'm not sure I totally understand it, but I think it's just like you're sending different coordinates to the computer in the missile, and then it goes somewhere else, basically.
Oh, yeah, I just assumed it had something to do with causing the missiles to fail in some way.
Yeah. I think the plot, or their like thing is like, we want to embarrass the British.
Hell yeah.
Very sinister. We're going to embarrass you, man.
There's nothing more embarrassing than getting your rockets toppled.
My missiles!
I was using those.
God. Yep. So we got Bond theme there from the very beginning. We got our gun barrel. No theme song yet. I think the Bond theme they kind of considered the theme song of the movie until the next one. Blind guy assassins. No. Yep. Oh yeah, I love. Okay, so they assassinate the lady, his like secretary or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they pull out the file for Dr. No. I love that. It's like, here's your title, here's the movie. Like, we're getting going, you know.
That was awesome. So good.
The logistics. There's a line in there that I really like where she says, "We've been burning up the air between here and Jamaica all night and haven't gotten anything."
Nice.
I think that's a great. Burning up the air, I think, is great.
That procedural part before Bond gets his entrance, there's so much good 60s glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Good hair, like good glasses, good outfits.
Yeah, good outfits. Yeah, there's
Yeah. Dude, those guys that are sitting playing cards, that's the life. Just sitting at the embassy playing cards in Jamaica, middle of the day. Sounds great.
And you get the feeling that that's there every day.
Yeah. Just wearing white suits and hanging out. But yeah, I love how you get wrapped up in that, like, what is the procedure, and then they introduce one of the most iconic movie moments of all time.
That's him playing cards?
Yep. Jimmy, it's 3 a.m. and he's at the casino playing cards.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. What'd you think of his introduction?
Walk me through it.
Okay. The guy shows up and he's like, I need to talk to Mr. Bond or whatever. They bring his card in. It's like the Universal Exports card, which is kind of like MI6's cover, is what they call themselves, Universal Exports. But it's like they show him just barely parts of him, you know? It's like the back of his head, his side. And he says, I believe she goes in for more money. And he says, I admire your courage, miss. And she says, Trench, Sylvia Trench. And then she says, I admire your luck, mister. And then he has his James Bond, and the music starts playing, and he lights a cigarette.
You and I both have an appreciation for character introductions.
Yeah, this one's awesome, too.
This one is very awesome, and just the weight, it's even more awesome considering the weight that it carries, considering it's introducing audiences the world over to one of what will become one of cinema's most iconic characters.
Yep.
And so coming back and watching it with that context is like chilling.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you got into it.
Yeah.
It's what was I gonna say? I like the setup, how he sets her up and then she sets him up. Um, but I also love like a partial reveal, like you're just showing parts of this person. They do it
Yes.
again, I think, with a couple of the Bonds. Uh,
That's fun.
but I think this is like one of AFI's like top 100 movie moments of all time, which I think is cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And it's also like everybody you've kind of met is like a 60s, just like a 60s dude, 60s person. And then he comes in, you're like, whoa, this guy's something else. This guy's on a different
Yeah.
level.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
guy's
Just
on
the way he
theme song.
carries himself. What'd you say?
These guys on theme song.
Yeah, I mean, you get your own theme song, you're going to be in AFI's top
Yeah.
100 movie moments. That and when Jason Big fucks up apple pie.
Yeah, also very iconic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that goes up there.
Cool. So yeah, he's called in the office. My next note is Sean's hair is so nice in this Moneypenny scene. He's in
How
his
many
special
of your notes
relationship.
is Sean's hair is so nice in this scene?
I think we've covered most of them.
Oh, okay, good.
I understood it was redundant. I think, dude, it may not be in this movie, but I think maybe immediately after this, he's got a toupee.
Oh, really?
He becomes a bald man very quick.
Well, he was Mr. Universe or something? He was a
Yeah,
lifter.
yeah,
He was a
yeah. He was
very
a bodybuilder. Yeah,
It doesn't read. The way the cut of his suits are so lean and dynamic, but I could only imagine he was a tall man as well, and
yeah.
knowing that he was a bodybuilder, they make him seem so sleek.
Well, when he's in his like shirt and shorts or whatever at the end, like yeah, he even goes shirtless. He's not a huge dude,
Yeah,
but I don't think standards back then. I don't think are like you're not going to be a giant guy like doing bodybuilding. You're just going to be like you got pecs and biceps.
true.
You know? And
Like
now, yeah, you're
the
huge.
like nutrition was not what it is now, and I
Yeah.
mean he's a bodybuilder, but he's also like drinking and smoking and
Yeah, fighting people probably too.
yeah.
So you're talking about the ladies all being in love with James Bond?
Yes, not just the ladies. Meow.
Oh yeah, I mean there are
Go on.
guys that are into James Bond later in the franchise as well.
That's
Um,
interesting.
it is, yeah. I'm excited for some of this later stuff. I'm excited for all of them, honestly. But there's some peaks that are coming that I'm excited for you to see.
Cool.
But there's like this weird thing between him and Moneypenny that's like a consistent throughout the whole franchise. Um, how did you feel about their little like flirting thing?
It was natural. It didn't seem forced. It felt um it had a genuine warmth to it that I feel is important probably for this franchise because even the little bit that I've seen, James Bond as a hired killer or as a killer for his majesty and as a secret agent, I think by definition is a character that can't allow people to get too close, like and have like genuine connections with, and that's intentional. I feel, and so to have this really sweet, just like easy breezy moment with someone that you could tell that they have a good rapport with, and there's like that teasing, like, hey, when are you gonna take me out on a
Yeah,
date like
yeah.
you've been taking these other women? And I don't know, I just liked it.
Okay, that's cool. No, I think it's sweet too. I think there's room for like people to feel weird about it, But
Like in what way?
it's his boss's secretary, and he's like always flirting with her, and he's out with other women and talking about whatever. I don't know, like keeping her on the hook for I don't know, manipulating her maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
It seems like
I
it seems sweet. in Innocent.
I suppose I totally see that, but I didn't actually get it in any sort of sexual or romantic way. It seemed like a platonic friendship that was coming out in like playful like banter.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I would agree completely. Yeah, cool.
And that's probably one of the few ways that James Bond knows how to communicate, especially with women, is like through flirtation.
Yeah, true.
And I understand that as a figure, as an icon, he's steeped in problematic aspects, but for the purposes of like my viewing, I didn't catch too much of that.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, if you've been going since the '60s, you're probably gonna have some issues.
Oh,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah, even stuff from the late 90s, early
Oh,
2000s has problematic as we view things now, our perspective has like shifted and widened so much that like we're more aware of things that are just don't feel right or are not
yeah,
okay. And so sometimes revisiting older material like this is another reason to view it academically because you have to recognize that it's a product of its era.
sure. Yeah, agreed. There's a good moment in Goldfinger where he smacks a girl on the butt and says, "Go away, man talk." So there's some good stuff like that to look forward to. But
Oh,
I don't
sweet.
think this one's very problematic.
No. Yeah, and I've totally can see where there'd be room for the conversation, but this like nothing really struck me in this that like worried me super much. Well, that's not necessarily true. The more we talk about it, the more um I remember like certain elements like later on it is heavily implied that Ursula Andress's character is like
Mm.
sexually assaulted numerous times by the guards, and then at the end it's just like they're just riding off in a boat together and they're like, oh well, let's have some alone time.
Yeah, none of us are like disgusting and sandy, and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and have gone through some like truly nightmarish stuff.
There's some weird stuff in the book where she's not quite mentally at the same level as an adult.
Oh,
She kind of like raised
they
herself in a shack or something.
they sort of that's like vaguely uh, in not like vaguely not referenced,
Yeah, yeah,
but like I kind of got the feeling that they were going for that a little bit, that she was uh yeah, limited based on
yeah.
her upbringing.
Her unique upbringing. Yeah.
Yes, her very unique.
Cool. The next scene I have is, yes, the gun scene, which we talked
Oh
about for
yeah.
a second. But dude, that comes from such a crazy place. I think it's on the Doctor No Blu-ray, but in the book, his gun for a while they do this same thing. I think where they replace his gun, just in a different story. But he has it's called a Beretta 418. I think it's
Okay.
really tiny, and then there was a guy who wrote in to Ian Fleming and was like, "The gun you're using is for women. It's a lady's gun. It's not going to do anything. You need to use this gun. This is the appropriate one." And so he's like this internet commenter, and Ian Fleming took it seriously. He's like, "You're right. Women, women guns. Like we gotta have a man's gun in here."
Yeah, this will not do.
Yeah. Do you have that package I left for you?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's
I did
behind me.
too. Go ahead and open that.
Okay. Uh, I brought it in and I put it on the floor next to my bookcase and just kind of forgot about it. And then Kylie, yesterday, she comes up to me. She's like, "You have a package on the floor that just says 'Do not open until the specified time.'"
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good deal.
It's a Killer Burger uh brown paper bag that's been like folded over and taped shut with the words, "To Daniel Pinkelwinkelstein from the office of Her Majesty's government, uh and then the exports thing.
Uh-huh.
For your eyes only, do not open until recording. And then on the other side, see reverse side for instructions. Do not open. So I am opening it.
Open her up.
Okay. Okay. I have a Walther airsoft pistol
You've been
with
given
a silencer.
your pistol.
Okay, good. Okay, that's exciting.
I bought myself one at one point because I was like, I just want to feel what this gun feels like in my hand, you know.
Ooh, excellent.
And then I
We
don't know if
have
you drink it all, but I put some Red Stripe in there because I thought I want a Red Stripe for this recording, and I just opened one for myself just now.
I don't actually drink. I haven't drank
But
since January 1st, 2013.
damn, dude, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. And you also, so there are 2 red stripes. These will go into my fridge and they will be enjoyed by a guest in the future. And you also provided the Blu-ray copy of From Russia with Love.
And then your next assignment, yes.
Excellent. Thank you. This is
Yeah.
exciting.
Sick.
Ooh, Terence Young. Another Terence Young.
Who's the other Terence Young? Oh, yeah, he did Doctor No. Yeah, he keeps going for a little bit.
Good. Yeah, I like some of his other work too. I think I recognized the name, and then I looked him up, and what was... Oh, Red Sun with Charles Bronson and Toshiro Mifune,
Oh,
and Alan Delon.
really? That's a good cast. I mean, you put
Yeah,
Christopher Mifune in a movie outside of the 50s, and yeah, it's a good cast.
for real.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he's kind of credited with a lot of the stuff from the beginning of like he lived that lifestyle of traveling around the world, wearing nice suits, drinking nice champagne. Kind of took Sean Connery under his wing and like taught him about all that stuff. And bought him a nice
Whoa.
suit. Yeah.
He was born in the Shanghai International Settlement, and he passed away in Cannes, France.
Oh.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
Thank you for this.
Yeah. A little token of the beginning of our journey here.
Yeah.
Our bonding. So Felix Leiter, Jack Lord shows up and he's got women's sunglasses on.
Yeah, he looked good.
They're like big cat eye sunglasses that he shows up in.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he looked so cool. With those, yeah, I'm re-looking at it. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Look at that guy.
Great.
That is a filthy animal right there.
What did you think of him as Felix Leiter?
Just fine. My
Yeah.
personal feeling towards him was like complete neutrality.
Yeah. Yeah, he's okay.
I don't have a lot of context for the Felix Leiter character, so when I saw his name, it's like, oh, I recognize that guy, and then that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a long-term kind of he comes in and out. It's usually a different actor every single time. There's a couple that reprise it, but
I recognize the name Jack Lord.
yeah, he's from Hawaii Five-0.
Oh, that's why I must recognize that name.
I've never seen it. I just know that. Okay, let's see. So, okay, there's that. So there's that casual line where he says, "Make sure he doesn't get away," to that guy who's killed himself with cyanide. You know,
Yeah.
So that part is what's that?
No, yeah, where he like pulled out a capsule, or no, it was he asked if he could pull a cigarette. Yeah, and then he like bit off the end. Instead of a filter, it was a cyanide capsule.
Yep. And so he brings him back
cool.
to the consulate or whatever. And he's like, make sure he doesn't get away. Right.
That's fun.
Yeah. That was just Sean Connery being goofy in the moment. And then they changed the whole script. Basically, we're like, let's do these like little offhand jokes where he's like casual and just like making
what?
And that's like how every action hero acts now from then on, you know, like they're just
because of that one line.
Yeah, they're like, let's get a little bit fun with this. Like, let's be a little bit less serious.
So because of that one line, they changed the script for the rest of this movie, which changed the trajectory of the James Bond franchise, which eventually led to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis having careers.
I lied. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's awesome. So I thought that
Amazing.
was pretty impactful moment.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Um, and then let's see, dude, you got to be into the like straight up spy stuff that he's doing. So there's some like legit stuff when he gets into his hotel room, and he puts the powder on his briefcase, and he puts the hair over the closet door.
The hair I loved.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So good. That feels real.
Yeah. I mean, Red Foreman does that over his the um the thing that you put a key into to start your car. What is that called?
Yeah, the ignition.
The ignition of his precious automobile in That 70s Show.
Did they mention Dr. No? Because I'm sure that's where he got it from.
I'm certain it is, but no, they don't reference where it came from.
That's funny. And then I have my note about Sean Connery looking good in his suit.
Yes, he does. It's cut.
I mean, I love the detective stuff in it. Like, that's the coolest part about this movie to me, is it's very just a straightforward detective story until you see your villain, you know?
Yeah, and you don't get Dr. No until the last 30 minutes of the whole damn movie.
Yeah, I think he's the latest, or maybe one of the latest, like, reveals, or like the latest you see the villain of any of the movies. But
And again, please.
I don't know. Yeah.
I was trying to put myself into the context of this being not only anyone's first Bond movie, but it's the first Bond movie. And then you're introduced to this villain, and it's just like, oh, his whole thing is he's of mixed race origin, and he's got robot hands.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
A lot to him. He like stole the money from his like a Yakuza group or something. He was the treasurer, I think, is the story, and they cut his hand off. He got away with it somehow.
He's got these stupid robot hands.
Have you ever seen Peep Show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know Super Hands?
Yes.
Yeah, him and Jeremy have a band, and one of their band names at one point is Curse These Metal Hands.
Oh.
Dr. No every time.
What?
Curse These Metal Hands.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love Dr. No. But he establishes that, like, calm, slow talking, like, I'm in control. We're going to have a nice time sitting here having dinner. We're going to when they get to his base, he puts them in, like, the nicest hotel room, gives them, like, nice clothes. He, like, takes care of them, you know?
Until he drugs them.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But they needed to sleep, so, maybe it was somewhat beneficial.
Yeah. No, he's just taking care of them.
Yeah, he's being cool. I mean, it's like calling down to the front desk of the hotel and asking if they have any melatonin, only you don't ask, and it's in your champagne, and it's probably not just melatonin.
Yeah. My next note is, it is pretty straightforward until you get to the room. There's that room that Dan goes into that has, like, the big circular opening on the top, and you hear Dr. No for the first time.
Yeah, what the hell's up with that room?
It's just weird and mysterious. The production designer guy, Ken Adam, he's the guy who did, like, the war room in Doctor Strangelove.
Awesome.
Yeah, incredible. Like, some of the coolest sets ever. And they get to his, like, base at the end. Obviously, another movie franchise borrowed a lot from this. That's hard to ignore, but it does get very Austin Powers at the end.
Yeah. Yes.
But whatever. That's because it was so iconic, you know?
Well, yeah, and that's what Austin Powers was totally playing off of. Like, that's what gave them all of this material.
Yeah, I love it. I love the Ken Adam stuff. Like, it's so iconic. He's got this, like, book that I've thought about buying a bunch of times, but I think it's out of print now. It's like $400, which is stupid, which does not make sense. But yeah, his stuff is so good. Freaking tarantula. Not poisonous, but whatever.
Oh yeah, it's just like this whole scene of a tarantula crawling across James Bond, who just like wakes up and punches it to death.
Yeah, to the music. Dude, okay, I know we have short time, but they built an entire room for that shot
What?
on its side so he could lay with his arm against the glass and put the spider on it.
Whoa.
Like
Is
that's
that
the biggest waste of time and energy they did on this movie. But
wait, so it's not actually on him, it's on glass?
yeah, you can see like his arms pressed against something and it's like crawling. But they didn't
Whoa.
just like go, let's put a pane of glass here. They built a room so they could put it on its side.
That's
Crazy.
amazing.
Insane.
Wait,
Miss
wait,
Carol.
so
Yeah,
the room is on its side? What do you mean? So is he
yeah.
like standing?
I think so. Let's me think logistically. He's pressed against this glass. He might be strapped in, like on the bed. And then the glass on top
Oh,
of it, and they're just setting the spider on top of the glass.
good. Okay.
Seems like they could have done it way easier, especially since tarantulas don't do anything to you.
Yeah. They're like, hey, are you cool if we have this? Oh, so you read the script, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What'd you think of the tarantula scene? Oh, yeah. I'm not big on tarantulas. Okay, the only other option. Let's build a whole entire room.
Well, we got a room ready. Like we knew you're gonna think this.
Yeah.
I
Okay, the room's going. We're good on the room.
put the spider on the glass. Get Sean in here.
You just admit it. You just wanted to build this fucking room. Yeah, I kind of did.
That is what it feels like for sure. Let's see. I have two strikes against this movie. Two parts where
Okay.
I'm like, oh god. The dragon is one of them. Like, could have come up with something better. I love the idea that like, yeah, there's this mystery. There's this dragon on the island. What is it? And it's like it's a freaking little, not even like a tank. It's like those like duck vehicles that go into the water or whatever.
Yes. It's like
Pretty
something
goofy.
from the movie The Running Man.
Yeah, something they found obviously, but it just makes Coral look so stupid to me. Like, come on, man, that's the dragon. And then my other strike, it's just Miss Tarot giving directions to her house. I think she gives the actual directions in real time. She's like, you turn left on this street, and you head there, and you go there, and they're like showing him do all of it. Like, guys, you can keep going. You don't have to show us this whole thing.
Well, they want to make us as an audience feel like we know how to get to her house, if you know what I'm saying.
They're putting you in, yeah, yeah, yeah. They're putting you in his shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so that's the difference between you and me is you have a really deep respect for these movies, but you also have like a deep knowledge of like the ones that are like serious and the ones that are you could take less serious. For
Yeah.
me, I don't have that context, so I'm kind of game for just expecting that it's going to go off the rails in any second. And so when I saw the dragon, I was like, okay, cool, I'm in. This is stupid. This is
Yeah.
some
This is dumb as
bullshit.
hell.
The stupid go-kart that they painted teeth on, and it's
Yeah.
just blasting fire. And then Quarrel just gets
He doesn't move.
no. Ah, ah. He was just so afraid. He couldn't.
Poor guy. I really do like Coral.
Yeah. You get some good scenes of like ragged shirted Bond in the vents.
Yeah, I love that sequence.
Yeah.
And the weird sound effects that they use. The
I
strange noises happening.
I think they do a good job of establishing that James Bond is a super spy, but also they're not afraid to show him like struggling and show him like getting torn up and be human. He's not always going to be like completely invulnerable.
Yeah, he's not like Elvis or something that's gonna pop out of the water and be like in perfect shape. That's kind of a theme of the books is like you just like read him getting ripped to shreds every single time.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. He gets like his calf muscle ripped off in one of the books by a coral, and yeah, some real hardcore stuff, which I really like. Honestly, I think it's
I
cool.
think that's I think that's more interesting than a perfectly debonair, always going to squeeze through at the right moment kind of action hero. as opposed to just like this dude who's just getting just torn to shreds.
Yeah, and he's willing to like make that bet of like, yeah, I'm gonna give more. I'm gonna go more. I'm gonna go further. Yeah, I love it.
Cool.
What do you think about Ursula Andress?
Fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was an odd character. Kind of an odd character choice. I liked it. Okay, it added to the oddball. Like, here's this oddball collection of people lost on this like scary island, foreboding island. But it was just like, hey, let's introduce this character sort of 2/3 of the way through, give her enough backstory, I guess, to make her like to propel her forward through the rest of the story and to add weight to, certain scenes where I guess to add gravitas, like I guess something that James Bond has to be to account for, maybe to
Yeah, like
protect.
another
So
variable.
another variable, yeah, and someone that's someone that's in his care that he has to take care of,
Yeah.
and I don't know. She's a pretty woman, but
Yeah.
she's like it was. Yeah, she was fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's fair.
What's
I
your
think
read?
people. I mean, she's cool. I think she's a cool, like, interesting character. I think she's like iconic for people because she's like a sporty, like tougher kind of lady that's just on her own and can kind of do her own thing. You know, like she's out there living her life, making a living off of selling shells for $50 a piece. And then
That's cool.
I love the scene where they're like sitting there just talking in the grove or whatever on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she's cool. And that moment where she comes out of the ocean, I think, is also one of those like top 100 movie moments.
Yes. Yes, I've seen that so many times, and I've
Yeah,
only seen this movie probably once.
once or maybe at a kid's sleepover,
Yes.
potentially.
So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that he's very intentionally and knowingly putting herself in danger, knowing that this is a forbidden island, and she's just like, "Hey, I always get out of here before they catch me."
Yeah, exactly. I found a weird loophole, weird niche to fill, and nobody can keep up with me. So I'm just gonna keep living this.
Okay. The more we talk about her, the better I feel about it.
Um, yeah, for me, like the big thing of this movie is Jamaica and the islands and like the colors. If
Yes.
I'm in like I want to be in vacation mood, like this movie is the one. It's so nice. Just the '60s Technicolor. It's just beautiful. They're in the jungle. They're in the city. The color of their clothes even is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so good. Um, cool. Yeah, Doctor No. He's great. He gets destroyed because he can't hold on to the bars, and the
Yeah.
wheel is turned to danger. So yeah, everything starts to explode.
It's
Uh,
freaking James Bond dresses like, oh, they're plastic uniforms. I love their weird plastic uniforms.
yeah.
And he just dresses like one of the other thugs, one of the other scientists. He's like, "Hey, where's so and so? Oh, he's standing over there. Go to your
Hey, what are
station."
you doing over here?
And so he just like starts just wrenching on this valve as fast as he can, and the other guy's like, "Don't do that." He just gets booted. It's just like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrench on this valve,"
I'm
and
gonna
that
turn it to
foils the
danger.
plot.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet. So, I mean, I fucking love this movie. This
Really?
movie, this is in of Bond movies. I'd say this is in my top 5.
Holy shit!
But I mean, part of it is like I also love the purity of it being like the first thing. You
Yeah,
know, there's nothing to judge it against except for other '60s movies. I love the island nature of it. I love how simple it is. Uh, yeah, I love this movie. Top 5 Bond.
that's really incredible. I'm glad that you didn't tell me that until now.
Yeah. I don't think it's a common thing. I think people think it's really slow. Like, what are the action scenes in this movie? They
He
hide in a river.
Yeah, they hide behind from sand. There's
Uh-huh.
at least one. pretty good car chase.
Are you talking about the rear projection one?
What do you mean by that?
The one where the car ends up going down a hill on fire?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. All of it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Right? I guess he throws a guy over his shoulder.
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Dr. No is dead, right?
The character?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. He's like, he meets an untimely end where he just gets boiled to death in that.
Radioactive water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just trying to climb up, but his stupid metal hands can't do it.
I love his metal hands. Crunches that thing that's clearly like not metal.
It's paper mache.
Right. His bass is really cool. What I don't. This is you don't have to rate it this, but if you were to rate it on Letterboxd right now, what would you give it?
Let me find my score. I have it. The range I have it for it is between 3 and 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, still above average.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty high.
And if you remember, my No Time to Die score was 3.
Interesting. So you consider this a little bit more enjoyable than No Time to Die?
It's either equal to or a little more enjoyable. Yeah.
That's interesting. So you said 3 to 3.5.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So that's Doctor No, number 1. Number 2 to come out is From Russia with Love. This was picked because they did a poll, or they did, I don't have any idea what the hell Trump or Biden have done in their lives, but back when Obama was president, he would put out his like list of favorite books, and Kennedy did that, and From Russia with Love was on it.
Oh, what?
And so it caused this huge like boom of Bond book sales, all this stuff, like Bond mania. And so they're like, we have to do From Russia with Love next. It's a great movie. This one's a lot more serious, a little bit more straightforward. More spycraft. They've got a little bit more of their stuff figured out. Some of the things are still not there. Like there's a theme song to it, but it's not where you would usually see it in the movie. But yeah, well, it should be good. Do you have any impressions of From Russia with Love?
No, I know that they came out with a Bond video game
Yeah,
on the PlayStation 2
and GameCube.
and GameCube of the same name, and I think it was actually well regarded.
I started playing it on emulator, and it's fucking awesome.
Is it? Oh, okay, cool.
Sean Connery comes back. He does the voice for the entire thing. It's
No
old man
way.
Sean Connery. It's the last time he ever played James Bond. And there's some genius stuff in there. There's not a jetpack fight around Big Ben in From Russia with Love, but there is in the game, and it's awesome. They kind of combine a couple of the movies, but yeah, I played a little bit, and it was super sweet. So, cool.
Well, apparently I liked Dr. No, if I'm to stick with the 3 to 3.5, as much as The Bride of Frankenstein, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, Jason and the Argonauts, Carrie, and Popeye, the feature-length film.
Robin.
And several others, including The Santa Claus, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret of the Ooze, Flatliners.
Dr. No's in good company.
Yes. Yep, it is.
And then I guess the last question is, I know you have this, what do you even call it? It's like a storybook that you did in picture format.
Yes.
How do you describe it?
It's sort of, I kind of call it a graphic novel, even though it
is. It's graphic, and it's a story in a novel form.
Yeah.
Is it available anywhere online?
It is. Right now it's currently in digital form. It's on Amazon. It's called Skyven Handmade Stories, and SKYVEN.
Okay. So if you're
stories.
interested, Dan and I are both creative people, and like this is one of our outlets.
Yes.
But if you guys are interested in seeing what other stuff Dan's done, that's Skyven. It's on Amazon.
Thank you. And I'm working on the physical copy, but that's going to be available through Barnes and Noble, and the formatting has taken me a long time, and I'm almost done. I've decided to, instead of just pure visual storytelling, I've decided to add lettering to kind of help explain what's happening in the visual sequences. And like the rest of the book, it's entirely handmade. So I sculpted all the letters, painted them, and photographed them, and now I am digitally cutting them out so that I can use them in each page to as the font work.
Damn. That's awesome. Yeah, it's all miniatures, all handmade stuff that's photographed to tell the story. I think it's pretty cool.
Thank you. I think it's really cool looking. And my goal is always, I've been making things my entire life, and my goal, as always, is if the thing I've just made is the coolest thing I've ever made, then I've done something right. And I've been looking at it for so long that I'm like sort of bored of it, and I'm super excited to move on to the next thing and like really, really pump it up.
Yeah. Cool, man. You got anything else out there people can look at?
Right now, just that. You could check me out on Letterboxd at Daniel_Ebert.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. They can follow along with what you're giving stuff.
Yeah.
Would you recommend? Man, this is a hard one to recommend.
Would I recommend Dr. No?
Yeah, like you gotta be into old movies, I think.
Yes, this is not one that you could just suggest your pals watch. It's not corny enough to be funny for a laugh. It's not kitschy enough to be
make fun of it. Like, there's probably some parts, but yeah.
Yeah, it takes itself very seriously, which is good for what it is. But I think that this is one of those movies that you have to be academically interested in the history of the Bond franchise and film to really, really be able to recommend this to. But if any of that piques your curiosity, I think you're going to get a lot out of it, just like I have. Yeah. Because I have very little lasting interest in the Bond franchise, except for now that I'm really, really starting to like get interested into it because of you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to get in there, get like a couple of them under your belt. You know.
Yeah, I can't wait to be able to say that I've seen them all. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. If you are at the beach and you got a TV there and you got the option to watch any of the Connery movies, like at night before you're going to bed, the best. We did it as, like, I basically forced my parents to do it last time we were at the beach. And I just put one in halfway through. And, like, when nobody was in the room, I just let it go. And everybody kind of sat down one by one. And the rest of the week, we watched Connery movies every night.
That's fantastic.
You have to like old movies. My parents are super into, like, old movies. But it's like a comforting just trip to the past, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. If I had a letterbox, which I might make, I don't know, man. This one might be a 5 for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I also am on the internet a little bit. Andy Morris on YouTube. I got a bunch of random crap on there. Creative narrative stuff, just drone footage of birds in my backyard. A bunch of stuff, but
music videos.
Yeah, yep. All kinds of weird stuff. But pretty cool to have some people looking at that.
It's really cool shit.
Thank you, dude.
Yes.
But yeah, next time we got From Russia with Love, and I'm excited. Cool,
I am too. Thank you for all this. Thank you for bringing me in on this. I'm really excited to not only watch all these movies with you, but honestly, like rekindle our friendship.
Yeah,
through movies.
Our bond. Now we have an excuse to just talk about stuff.
Yeah. So let's rekindle this thing.
Oh yeah, man.
Cool.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Have a good night. Have a good dinner.
If you have any questions
You can write to us at rekindlingourbonds@gmail.com. That is rekindlingorbonds@gmail.com. And you can write us letters of encouragement, questions you have about the show, about each of us, about the James Bond franchise, movies you're excited about, or trivia, or suggestions for other movies we should watch. Thanks for listening. We hope to only get better and better with each episode. Stay tuned for episode 4, where we hopefully have our audio problems figured out. But yep, thanks for listening.
Doug is getting his sandwich from the lobby. He's going to eat it while we're talking. Doctor No is a James Bond movie. Doctor No is the name of the villain. He's a guy with 2 robot hands. He wants to punch James Bond in the face. He can squeeze things to pieces. Squeezing things is his one major thing. That and his knowledge of nuclear stuff. He will nuclear stuff the world to pieces. He will use nukes in the way that would make the world fall apart like his squeezing hands would fake. You heard me.